Okay, so it's the last section of auditing. So we on video 4. Continuity of business operations. Now, business operations could be anything in the business that the business do. You need to make sure everything in the business is doing good, operating as good, right? Logical access controls. So logical access controls, think of passwords and all, right? You need to make sure no one has access to those things in the business, do passwords and so on, right? So the internal auditor, his role is to reviewing this logical right thing, this logical access control, right? To test whether these passwords are working correctly. They test whether these control objectives are meeting the criteria, and to assess security policies, right? So basically looking at all the security and making sure everything is doing good. Control over privacy, security, and data integrity is very important. Making sure all data stored in the computer is being managed by the business only and there's no hackers not being leaked, etc. Top secret information is kept secret. Make sure there's no vulnerabilities where the information can get leaked. Highly confidential. So top secret means information that can damage the organization, right? So information relating to the mergers or acquisitions when you buy another business, that's top secret, only related to the trade, the business. Highly confidential. Customer information falls under highly confidential. Proprietary means private, so information for only authorized personnel, for private people. Internal use only. So anything in the business that's produced is internal. So when those gets leaked, it's bad, right? So that's internal use information. Public documents. Let's see. Uh, so public documents can be financial statements and reports, right? They must be controlled, right? Make sure nobody forges that reports and so on. Data integrity control. Make sure all the data in the business are kept safe from being changed. User identification controls. Make sure each user comes in with a card. Scan the card. Logical access control, right? User authentication control. Make sure the user can authenticate, meaning the user can only enter the system with a password. So you can read all that passwords, like basically everything on passwords. Supplementary access controls. Supplementary access controls are things that you do after something had happened that deals with access controls. For example, automatically account lockout when you do incorrect password. So after you got incorrect password, lockout. Timeout, automatic logging, encryption, sensitive information. Physical access control, making sure that the room is locked where important information is stored, like that. That's basic physical information control. It can also be a tap card system, so like tap your card only to go into a certain place. Auditor's evaluation of physical access. So auditor must look at the physical access, how things are in the business to make sure everything's going good. Environmental controls. Environmental controls basically means controls must be in place to protect the business from natural disasters and so on, right? Tornadoes, hurricanes, and so on, right? Measures. Audit evaluation techniques. So the auditor needs to make sure if it's complying with the standards, right? If you look, a business or someone must have like fire extinguishers, must has water, must have in case of emergencies what to do. Auditor needs to make sure everything the business has. Disaster recovery and disaster recovery plan is two different things. Disaster recovery is where you plan for a disaster. Disaster recovery plan is the implementation of this plan, actually doing this plan. So you must have a disaster recovery plan, right? Backup strategies. Obviously, all the data in your business needs to be stored somewhere, backed up. So if the data is lost one day, you can still get it back up. Other measures. So regular maintenance. You must replace equipment. So equipment that needs regular maintenance must be maintained so it can work properly as it needs to function. Adequate insurance. Insure your risk with insurance, right? So when you have like losses and all, they can pay out money to you. And arrangement for support for price, supplies, and equipment and software. So you just need to make sure everything's good in the business, huh? Make sure that you're dealing with good suppliers, make sure you're getting the good products, the good softwares, and that's it for this information system auditing. Yo, this is a very, very difficult topic, I'm not gonna lie, yo.